Most people are not ready for how fast life disappears. One day you are full of energy. The next you are wondering where the years went. Still stressed, still anxious, still spiritually empty. You smile in public, but feel exhausted inside. You pray, but doubt keeps whispering. You try to stay strong, but secretly you are tired of fighting the same battles over and over again. And deep down, you know something has to change because life is too short to live disconnected from God. Too short to spend years trapped in fear, regret, addiction, bitterness, or distraction. Too short to keep chasing things that cannot heal your soul. But here is the good news. God has not given up on you. Not after your mistakes, not after your failures, not after the nights you almost lost hope. This moment could become the turning point of your life. The moment fear loses its grip. The moment your faith becomes stronger than your anxiety. The moment you stop surviving and finally start living with purpose. Life is short, live with eternal purpose. Life is short, we all know it, but most people live as if they have unlimited time. Days turn into months, and months turn into years. People keep postponing peace, postponing purpose, postponing their relationship with God. They say they will pray later, forgive later, change later, love later, but later is never promised. So many people wake up every morning focused only on survival, paying bills, chasing approval, trying to keep up with a world that constantly demands more. Yet deep inside, there is still emptiness because success without God can never satisfy the soul. Living with eternal purpose changes the way you see everything. Suddenly, your time matters more, your words matter more, your decisions matter more. You stop wasting energy on things that pull you away from peace. You stop allowing bitterness, jealousy, and fear to control your heart. God did not create you just to exist. He created you to impact people, to grow spiritually, to walk in love, and to reflect His light in dark places. Eternal purpose means understanding that every ordinary moment can carry spiritual meaning when God is at the center of your life. Some of the most meaningful things in life will never be measured by money, fame, or applause. Quiet obedience matters. Kindness matters. Integrity matters. Faithfulness matters. The way you treat people behind closed doors matters. Put God first before everything else. Put God first before everything else. Not just on Sundays, not just during difficult moments. Every single day in your decisions, your relationships, your mindset, your goals, and your habits. Because whatever takes first place in your heart will eventually shape your entire life. Many people want God to calm their anxiety while still holding on to the lifestyle that keeps creating chaos. They ask for peace while feeding fear every day. They ask for direction while ignoring God's wisdom. Putting God first means allowing Him to lead even when His direction challenges your comfort. When God becomes your foundation, pressure no longer controls you the same way. Problems still come, but they do not break you as easily. Rejection still hurts, but it no longer destroys your identity. Delays still frustrate you, but you trust that God sees what you cannot see. Putting God first also requires discipline. Real spiritual growth happens in private moments, in prayer when nobody is watching, in obedience when it would be easier to compromise, in choosing faith when emotions are unstable. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for surrender, a heart that says, Lord, guide me even when I do not fully understand. That kind of surrender changes how you handle stress, temptation, disappointment, and uncertainty. When God has first place in your life, you stop depending completely on people for validation. You stop building your identity around temporary things. Your confidence becomes rooted in something eternal instead of something fragile. Trust God, even in painful seasons. Trust God even in painful seasons. That sounds beautiful when life is stable, but it becomes deeply personal when everything starts falling apart, when prayers feel unanswered, when doors close unexpectedly, when people leave, when the future feels uncertain. Those are the moments that test the depth of your faith. Pain has a way of making people question everything. Some begin doubting their worth. Others begin doubting God. But difficult seasons are not proof that God has abandoned you. Sometimes they are proof that he is working beneath the surface in ways you cannot yet understand. God often does his deepest work in hidden seasons, in loneliness, in waiting, in heartbreak, because pain strips away distractions and exposes what truly lives inside the heart. It teaches dependence on him instead of dependence on comfort. Many people want the promise without the process. They want strength without struggle, wisdom without waiting. But spiritual maturity is formed when faith continues even without visible results. Trusting God does not mean pretending everything feels okay. It means believing he is still good even when life feels heavy. It means waking up with tears in your eyes and still choosing prayer, still choosing hope, still choosing obedience. Some storms are not sent to destroy your faith. They are sent to deepen it. They push you closer to God in ways comfort never could. Fear fades when faith grows. Fear fades when faith grows. Fear may still whisper, but it no longer controls your decisions. It no longer defines your future. So many people spend years trapped inside invisible prisons created by anxiety, insecurity, rejection, and doubt. They want to move forward, but fear keeps convincing them to stay small. Fear speaks loudly in moments of uncertainty. It tells you that failure will embarrass you, that people will reject you, that your past mistakes are too big to recover from. It magnifies problems and minimizes God's power. Faith does the opposite. Faith reminds you that God is bigger than what you are facing, bigger than your insecurity, bigger than your disappointment, bigger than the opinions of people. When your focus shifts from fear to God, your perspective begins to change. Growing in faith is not about becoming fearless overnight. It is about learning to move forward even while fear tries to follow you. Courage is often built in quiet moments when nobody sees the internal battle you are fighting. Every time you trust God instead of panic, your faith grows stronger. Every time you pray instead of surrendering to anxiety, your spirit becomes stronger. Fear loses power when you stop feeding it with negative thoughts and start feeding your heart with God's truth. A fearful mind constantly imagines what could go wrong. A faithful heart remembers who God has always been. God can heal every broken place. God can heal every broken place inside you. The pain you hide, the tears nobody sees, the wounds caused by rejection, betrayal, and disappointment. His presence restores hearts, renews hope, and brings peace where fear once lived. Discipline builds spiritual strength. Discipline builds spiritual strength one day at a time. Prayer, obedience, and consistency shape your character in private before God reveals purpose in public. Strong faith grows through daily surrender, not temporary emotions. Your past does not define your future. Your past may explain your pain, but it does not control your destiny. God's grace creates new beginnings, restores broken confidence, and gives purpose beyond failure and regret. God's timing is always perfect. God's timing may feel slow, but he never forgets you. Every delay carries purpose. Every closed door carries protection. And every waiting season strengthens your faith. Weakness becomes strength through God. Your weakness is not the end of your story. God works powerfully through surrendered hearts, giving strength, courage, and peace where fear and exhaustion once ruled. Every day is a gift to honor God. Every new day is a chance to walk with God, grow in faith, love people deeply, and live with purpose instead of wasting precious time on temporary things. At the end of the day, this message is not just about motivation. It is about transformation, because one real encounter with God can change the direction of your entire life. Life is short. Too short to waste years carrying pain God is willing to heal. Too short to keep running from purpose. Too short to let fear make decisions that faith was supposed to make. God is calling you higher, higher than anxiety, higher than insecurity, higher than the version of yourself that keeps doubting what he placed inside you. Every difficult season was shaping you. Every delay was teaching you. Every battle was building spiritual strength you did not even realize you needed. Now the choice becomes personal. Will you continue living distracted, spiritually asleep, and emotionally drained? Or will you fully surrender your life to God and walk boldly into the purpose he created for you? You do not need a perfect past to step into God's future. You need faith. You need obedience. You need the courage to trust him one day at a time.